Hello, I'm doing this video. There's a lot of videos out on the Aliner Titanium, but not much from an owner's perspective. So I just wanted to go through and give you some just some information that my wife and I would have enjoyed having before we bought our Aliner Titanium. It is the 12-foot titanium, and it does have the awning. It's closed right now. I've got a solar panel on that, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But first I wanted to go over our truck. It's a 2010 Toyota Tacoma. It has an old man emu lift with medium rate springs up front and medium rate shackles in the rear. This suspension lift and then the 235/85 tires that are on there allow us to be pretty much level, as you can see right down there with our little level right there. Front to back it is level, on a little bit of a slant, so my right and left is off, but the front to back it's pretty much dead on. Just to give you some measurements, the ball hitch with the trailer off, the height of that top of the ball is at 25¼ inches up from the ground. And as you can tell, we flipped, even with the suspension lift, we still flipped the receiver over, and I think that's about a 2-inch drop on that receiver. So just to kind of give you an idea how high off the ground the titanium is as far as to get it level with that off-road tires and the suspension and everything off on that. So again, 25¼ inches is the top of the ball. Just to give you some perspective on the bottom of the wheel arch there, with the trailer off, it is 38¼ inches from the top, the bottom of the arch right there to the ground. And with the trailer on, we are at 37½ inch, so 37.5 inches. And so that's what it's taken about, once we get the trailer loaded up on, that is about a 3/4 inch drop as far as that we're seeing on there with the old man emu lift. And again, those are the medium rate springs in the front and the medium weight shackles in the rear. It is not the Toyota Tacoma stock suspension. Let's go ahead and move on over to our solar. It's a 150-watt solar panel. The tubes are aluminum. I did paint the aluminum tubes black, and I also painted the panel right there black as well. They are mounted using 3M tape. I did not drill any holes into the top here. I didn't want to drill any holes into anything. I wanted to give this a try. Worst case, I figured I would go ahead and drill the holes and do it. But if I didn't need to do that, then I didn't want to. Running the lines, I used little tabs, as you can see. A couple of them had came off. This is, I mean, we just got back from a 2,000-mile road trip to the Oregon coast. So this is how it is. I know it's sticking out. I had the top open here a minute ago, and I closed it back up, so it's sticking out so I could do this video. Up on top, you can see how I kind of round the wiring around. And then the tabs worked really good coming down through right up into here, but where there's a little bit more tension on these bends, that's where it kind of gave up. Now I'm going to use some of that 3M tape that I used for the mounts up above and see if that helps. But again, it was so dirty with the road trip, and then it's even dirtier now because of some rain we got last night, and you can see where it puddled up and the dirt collected. I'm going to go give it a bath, but I just wanted to give you an idea as far as what it's like after 11 days of camping. The top does still spring right up, no problems. But yeah, 11 days of camping along the Oregon coast. Boondocked it. We're in Utah, so we drove out there, took a couple days to get out there, and did some boondocking on our way out. Had a great time. The camper did great, or I should say trailer. There is a couple of things to take into consideration. There was one dirt road that we went down on, and We got a little bit of the wheel popped up, and you can see where it rubbed up against there and dented up the wheel well there. I did go through and seal up and around through here and over to there. I put some caulking in there just because when we got it home, it didn't look like that was sealed up too good, so I wanted to make sure I could get that nice and waterproof. I didn't want anything coming in that I didn't want to have. So yeah, again, it towed great. It towed really great with our Tacoma. I got our old Trasharoo. As you can see, we did Harris Beach State Park. Coming back around, and then this wheel well, we were just outside of Elko, out on some BLM land. It was pretty rutted, and you can see in there, we definitely hit a big rut. And I wasn't going fast or anything, it was just pulling the trailer and it came down into that rut, and the wheel came up and dented up everything. No big deal, it's not that can't be fixed, but I think when time comes to replace tires, I'm going to go with a slightly smaller tire. It might throw things off a little bit as far as my level, but I'd rather have that than have to worry about the tires hitting all the time when I take it down dirt roads, because it's primary why we got it is to go boondocking. So coming into the camper, I wanted to show you how I ran the wires that go down through. You saw on the outside with the tap, and it just goes up under. The one on the right is the stock plug-in for the Zamp solar. Then the two holes next to it with the wires coming out, those are the ones I put in. My father-in-law thought I was crazy for drilling holes into my camper when we didn't have it even for a week. But hey, it is what it is. And you can come in through and see where that runs up in through to the solar controller there on the left. I'm not overly impressed with this solar controller, but it's doing the job, so I'll be content with it for now. Coming back up, another modification we did was to the bed. We didn't really need the couch, it's just my wife and I and two dogs, but we did want to have the bed. So to make access to the storage easier, I went through, put a piece of plywood down, put some hinges there in the back, and it flips right up. Got the support coming down through here, a couple screws with the wood, and then that just comes right down to a little bracket. It's just a corner bracket that you would normally use. That just gives it some more strength right there, so it's not digging into anything. But it does make it a little bit easier to go through and get access into all the extra storage that's there. Plus, on either side in here, because there's a lot of storage that you just don't realize that's in here necessarily until you start poking around. So plenty of extra storage in through the camper. We were really happy with it. One thing maybe we're looking at making some changes is the water capacity. It just isn't enough if you're going to be boondocking for more than a few days. We were in Baja. It would definitely be nice to have plenty of water so that you can go 5 days without having to worry about water. I think our maximum while we were out this time was what, 3 days? About 3 days, and we were out of water by then. So, and that's without, no, we didn't. I take it back. We both took a quick shower. So that's not too bad. We could probably do 5 days if we didn't do the shower, but we were getting stinky and needed a shower. So we went ahead and did that. The only other thing that really kind of bothered us, or at least me, is that 3-way fridge. We're used to having a 12-volt fridge. When we were in Baja, we didn't have any power problems. The battery would come down a little bit with our 12-volt fridge. By the time an hour or two in the sun, the power went right back up. The 3-way fridge, if you don't remember to swap it over, drains your power, and then I might have been doing something wrong. Maybe I had the temperature set wrong, but even when I was towing it, the power was getting drained. Now it charged up the one location that we did have full hookups. It charged up the battery fine, and we were good there on. But going out there and then on the way back when we didn't have that and we were pulling the camper with it set to 12 volt, it just drained our battery down. Again, I might have had the temperature set too high, so it was just overdoing everything. I don't know. It's going to take some more experimenting. But I like the idea of a 12 volt fridge and not having to mess with things all the time and getting in and out of the back. So I think that's going to be something that we'll replace in the next year or so. Other than that, I can't think of much else we're looking to do. We were really happy with the camper. Again, we had a 1980s four-wheel truck bed camper in the back of a 2003 F-150. It was great. It was great taking it to places that we went to in Baja. But it just wasn't big enough. And I think this setup is going to do us really good. And honestly, we didn't go anywheres that I wouldn't feel, uncomfortable towing the camper. And we went out to some deserted beaches on some pretty, I'm not going to say rough dirt roads, but they were I guess everybody's perspective on rough is different. I'm out here in Utah, and Moab has rough dirt roads. Where we were at, they weren't rough dirt roads, and we could have towed this camper wherever we went. Again, taking it easy to watch the wheels from going up and hitting the wheel wells in the back of with the trailer. But overall, we were really happy with it. Everything went really well. We used the AC, didn't have any issues with that. We used the heater, didn't have any issues with that. Water was great. The water pressure coming out of the shower was a little weak, but it was enough to get wet and slather up and then rinse off. So that's all you really need to do. And now that's about it. Again, really happy with it. Oh, towing the Aliner with the Tacoma. So the worst gas mileage we got was 10 miles per gallon. The best, our average though was really right around 13 or just over 13. And the worst was because on our first night out, heading out towards Elko, we were trying to do freeway speed, which is 80 miles per hour here in Utah, and that just sucked down the gas. We were constantly downshifting and jumping up to higher RPMs. The next day, when I slowed things back up, we were doing around 70, 72, pulling just over 2,000 RPM, and our gas mileage averaged 13 miles per gallon. So that's totally legit for towing the trailer. That's what I had to do in the Ford anyways when we had the pop-up camper in the back of that. Same thing, if you try to go super fast with it in there, or I shouldn't say super fast, posted speed limits for Utah, which is 80 miles per hour on the freeway, it would suck down the gas. But you drop it down to 70, 75, RPMs would drop down to about 2,000, and we were getting decent gas mileage. Again, about 13. It's funny how close, similar in gas mileage the two were, considering one was a V8 and the Tacoma was a V6. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to probably be doing some more. I'm hoping to get some more action type stuff, going down to Moab and a few different things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.